Hey, my Taurus babies, what's happening? This is EJ from Taurota Tarot. I hope everybody is having a good week. For those of you that don't know, Mercury went direct last Wednesday. High up. In its usual fucked up way, it's still retrograding. So if it feels like shit is still a little off, it is. This is going to be Taurus and Cancer sitting in a tree, Kissing, for the year 2020. Same setup, except the cards have different meanings. So it'll be a 9-card spread. First card in the first row will be this year's summary. Your second card will be departing energies, or energy that'll be leaving you for the upcoming year. Third card will be what you need to let go of for the new year. Fourth card, what's important for the new year. Fifth card, as always, centerpiece will be your challenge and your obstacle for the new year. The sixth card is where your help will come from. And in most readings, what that is turning up to be is people, places, and things where you can expect to get help next year. Third row, first card, upcoming opportunities for Taurus and Cancer. The eighth card is what needs to be aligned in your relationship or with yourself. And the ninth card, what the hell you need to avoid in the new year. That bullshit you need to step over, step around, run away from, blah, blah, blah. So let's get this kicked off. This is Thanksgiving week. Today is Monday, November 25th. I'm tired as hell, but I am glad to be here. So let's get this kicked off. The only thing we are not doing for this reading is overall energy. I believe energy changes from day to day, week to week, month to month. So we're going to leave that part out. But let's get this kicking. This is enhanced reading. Let me do my housekeeping. I'm sorry. Let me say thank you to all of you that have liked, shared, and subscribed to my channel this year. I am overwhelmed and humbled. Trust me, every time I get on here and see how many people have liked something, I'm just damn near tears, because I can't imagine that many people are listening to me. So thank you for your support this year. Next year is going to be a good year for Taurota Tarot, so thank you again. A reminder, I do my cards straight up. I don't do reversals. So let's see what the hell we got going on with Taurus and Cancer for 2020. Patience, fertility, third eye chakra. I see that intuition. Deception and envy, movement, choices, and decisions. The heart chakra, what you love. Disruption, authority, and material and spiritual prosperity. Let's see what we got coming out of the little cards. Patience is pulling the 8 of Wands. Fertility is pulling the 7 of Wands. Third eye chakra is pulling the Queen of Coins. Deception and envy is pulling the Hangman. Oh shit. Movement, choices, and decisions is pulling the Death card. Heart chakra pulling the 8 of Coins. Disruption is pulling the World card. Authority is pulling the Fool. A lot of major energy for next year. Material and spiritual prosperity is pulling the 2 of Swords. Alright, Taurus and Cancer, let's see what the fuck. Let me say this first. 1, 2, 3, 4 major cards. And that I laid the Fool down upside down is indicative that some of y'all are going to be afraid to take a chance in your relationship next year. That's all good. We'll come back to that. But this is work energy. This is not, you got 2 wine cards sitting up here. This is not all fireworks, happy shit. Just no, not happening. There's some passion next year, but this is, especially for Taurus, it looks like it's going to be a grind down year. And I'm looking at the Queen of Coins sitting on top of the third eye chakra. So the first card, this year's summary, or when you get to 2020, it'll be last year's summary. A lot of you have had to have a lot of patience, particularly where communication is concerned. There's been a lot of hot and fast conversation between you and your Cancer, Taurus. What the hell? What y'all doing? And that's pretty much summing up the whole year. Y'all have been going back and forth. There seems like there's been some kind of discrepancy about what's going on in the home, what's going on with your kids, in-laws. That whole little section of your life just seems like it's been in upheaval. For the second card, departing energies. Taurus, you've been defensive about some shit. I don't know. What the hell? You've been trying to fight off, and we're going to go back to the first card with the Eight of Wands and the Patience. You've been fighting and arguing, and then it's wait. And then more fighting and arguing, and then wait. And so what's leaving next year, and particularly for Taurus, this being so defensive, some of that's going to go away. And time to get a little creative, because it seems like this year you just, fuck it, it looked like that. Okay. Next year will be a bit more creative, but the stuck, I can't figure out what the hell I'm supposed to do type energy should be leaving you. In turn, you should be a little less defensive about what the hell's going on, particularly in your relationship with your money. I don't know what's going on with Taurus and Cancer in the money situation, but we're going to come back to that. The third card, what to let go of. All this messy shit, it's just impulsive, running the hell out the door, arguing, back and forth, just real on edge. Say bye. Not listening to your intuition. Again, if I were looking at this way, that's how it would be. But that's what's leaving. The messy, I'm not listening to myself, I'm not listening to nobody else type shit. That's the energy that's going to be what you need to let go of. But back to the departing energy, that whole defensive thing, all of this, let it go. Whatever you're arguing about, and there's money here because the coins are sitting on the table. So whatever y'all have been scrabbling about, let that energy go, because it's not productive and it's not good for the relationship, and that is where your problem is. What's important for the new year, a lot of you are feeling like somebody's lying. Let me put it there. Cancer, you could be thinking Taurus. If you're cross-watching Taurus, you're thinking it's Cancer. But they aren't lies, even though it may feel like it's deception and envy. It's not that. It's miscommunication. All this shit you've been doing this year, this year's summary, this is where that feeling is coming from. And what changes that is when you change your perspective. However the hell you want to swing, what the heck, just change your perspective. That's going to be important for the new year. If you don't change your perspective, the fuck. The death card is sitting right there telling you somebody's going to be on their way out the door. Obviously, we're not talking about anybody dying. But old shit next year is not going to cut it. So old attitudes, old places that you've gone to, decisions that you've made, choices that you've made that were fucked up and that are no longer serving you. Here's your challenge and your obstacle for 2020. Find some new doors and some new colors and some new shit to get on. Because if you keep dwelling on the old stank ass shit, come on now. This is your challenge for next year. Transform this relationship or get the hell on. I hate to be so blunt, but that's the way the energy is flowing back. I don't know, money and arguing, Taurus and Cancer. And both of you have the qualities of being homebodies and liking to take care of your house, making sure your families are taken care of. And it just seemed like this year, neither one of y'all gave a damn about none of that, because what you had to say was more important. Next year, that's your obstacle. To realize the transformation that's going on in both your lives. Taurus, you have Uranus stuck in your sign to win 2025, some mess. Come on now. It's about changing. It's about looking at shit differently. You can't keep your relationship afloat with the same old dumb shit. So that's your challenge and your obstacle. Your movement, your choices, and your decisions next year need to be based in love. If you are with someone and you've been with them any amount of time, 6 days, 6 weeks, 6 months, 6 years, don't matter. Your decisions should be based in love. Why are you fucking around? If this is not you, I'm talking to Taurus and Cancer now, let that shit go. There's no sense in dealing with this year's energy, trying to be patient, trying to wait, but still ending up right here with all that fast, loud, doors slamming. I can hear all kind of shit, glasses breaking, all of that, not necessary. And again, whatever money situation y'all got that needs the kinks worked out, if somebody's not working, the other person has to be, if you're going to be in a relationship, it's for good or for bad. You can't just be like, oh, I only want to be here for the good shit, I don't want to be here for the bad shit. That ain't working. If you're going to do it, you got to do it 100% or you can't do it at all. Where your help will come from next year is really going to be just what the hell I just said, the heart chakra. And at some point, Taurus and Cancer, maybe y'all need to sit down right after the new year and have that conversation. Do you still love me the way you used to? I know y'all don't want to hear that, but I'm talking to somebody. That's what you need to get with for the upcoming year. And this is where your help, it sounds fucked up and shit. How is me talking and saying I love somebody gonna help? That's where your help will come from. When you start letting down some of your defenses, this card is green, so I got to say this is Taurus. You're gonna have to let some of that down. Talk to your partner. If you love them, then get busy and start working on that shit. And this is a coin card. So I'm gonna go back to the money thing again. Whatever y'all got going on with the finances, if you got a joint or shared bank account, checking account, saving account, and somebody's been putting their little fingers in it and hadn't been telling the other person, it's just been bouncing all over the place like a basketball. Let that shit go. Start talking to each other. Not this shit you've been doing this year, talking at each other. We get down here to the 7th card, upcoming opportunities and where they're coming from. It's going to have to be some kind of disruption in your day-to-day life. And I don't know how that's going to resonate with any of you. It may be that both of you needs to change jobs. Maybe somebody needs to go back to school, get their skills tightened up. But upcoming opportunities are going to come from the chaos and the disruption. And that is sitting underneath this is not a mistake. You start changing your perspective on your relationship, obviously there's gonna be some shakeup. Now, where Taurus and Cancer goes from this point, and this is upcoming opportunities and understanding, because this can go one of two ways. This is the World card. So we're talking about all the knowledge, all the resources that you bring to your relationship, but this also has to do with closure. So depending on how y'all deal with this disruption, because this may be one of them things where everybody just wake up one day and be like, fuck it, I'm out. Peace, deuces, miss me with some shit. Just depends. And again, you got to come back to this in the conversation that you need to have. Do you still love me like you used to? And that's not an easy question to ask somebody, especially if you've been in a relationship for a while. You got kids, y'all done been through some shit. I'm just saying. It's not easy to ask somebody, because a lot of times, the asking is not the hard part, it's the answer you might get back. And somebody might be like, you know what, no I don't. And so, I gotta say this too because I hear it. There's a level of maturity that both of you need to get to deal with this relationship the way you want to, so you can get the kind of outcome that you want to have, which obviously would be to be happy and whatever in your relationship. When you get here, one of the both of you may find out in the disruption and the chaos, it might be time to go. This can go one of two ways. Once again, you got the knowledge and the resources to make it go, or you're done with it. What needs to be aligned? Your risk taking. Your risk taking. That's what you need to get into alignment. The two of you, is a relationship from where it is at this point worth the risk? And this is major energy. This ain't no punk ass day to day, oh, we're just gonna just change. Nah. To take the risk and stay in a relationship or do something different. And then figuring out who's the authority in the house. Everybody can't be running the money. Somebody gotta run the streets, somebody gotta run the house. I'm just saying. And it don't have to be male or female doing one or the other. But both of you can't have your hands in the till. And money is still, I still hear coins jangling around in my ears. So however that's resonating with you, you have to get this into alignment with the amount of risk that you need to take to stay in the relationship. It's The energy is just that clear cut and that simple. And you've got to bring these two together. I know you're like, lady, really? How do we do that? When you start defining roles in relationships, and a lot of people don't do this, you just get, the sex is good, the kissing is good, the food is good, y'all just met, everything is gravy. But as you work through the relationship, sometimes we don't define roles because these are conversations we don't have at the beginning of a relationship. Again, the sex is good, the food is good. Who the fuck is trying to talk about boundaries and structure? We normally don't do that, but we should. Because when you get further into a relationship and the novelty wears off and the sex is okay and the food was so-so, okay, here we go. Now you into the meat and potatoes of the relationship, but do you have any structure? Who's going to handle the money? Who's going to run the streets? Who's going to take care of the car? Who's taking care of the kids? And it's simple things like that, while at the beginning of a relationship don't sound like shit. It's like, oh, we'll just work it out. We're so in love. But then 6 months in, a year in, 2 years in, you're like, wait a minute. So, again, going back to this, do you love me like you used to? While you're having that conversation, maybe you need to do some role defining about who's going to be the authority. Because both of you are going to have to take that risk, either to trust each other, to know that this shit right here with your money is going to work, and it's money. I can't call it no other way. Or you're going to just hop the fuck off the high wire and be like, I'm out. That's a choice. Don't feel like it's the end of the world if this is not the relationship you want it to be, or you don't feel like it's going to have any more potential than what it has. It's not the end of the world. Taurus, Cancer, either one. Shit don't stop just because y'all break up. And I'm saying that somebody needs to hear it. I feel like somebody might be just hanging on and you're manifesting it with all this bullshit right here. The text messages, you ain't shit. You ain't bring home, da-da-da-da. Okay, I'm just saying. And see, all of that energy, all that fire energy kicks up a lot of shit in a relationship, especially if both of you are discontent. At the end of all of this, what you need to watch out for and what you need to avoid next year is being all up in your head, because that's fucking with your material and spiritual prosperity. Coins jangling around again. Conversations that you have in anger or that are heated, a lot of times what happens, and this is the only air card on the board, so I'm gonna just throw that part out there, but it's big enough for me to say this. You do all this fussing, got all this chaotic shit going on, messy crap. The tendency is for most people to go to their respective corners. Then you get all up in your head and you get all up in your emotions and just like, fuck, and you can't get out. This is what you need to avoid next year. Taurus and Cancer, you can't afford to be sitting on opposite ends of the sofa, staring at the TV and not having no kind of conversation. That's what you need to stay away from next year. If you don't, all that little stuff right there, say bye-bye. I'm just saying, because you can't keep this kind of peace and tranquility. We're talking about material and spiritual prosperity. They go hand in hand. You can't keep this if you're doing that, or if you're still doing this. We've always ended up back here at this card. Only 2 fire cards on the board, but they carry a lot of weight. And hopefully, when you guys get to this disruption, it won't be about one of you going one way and one of you going the other way. Hopefully, you will be able to work through whatever relationship problems you're having. When it comes to money, money is tight right now. Everybody is feeling the pinch. Ain't nobody got enough of nothing right now. So if you are together, particularly if you're in a relationship and you live together, you have to work together with your money, because you can't have one doing one thing and one doing something else and nobody on the same page. Shit ain't gonna work like that. And I'll just say, take a look at this year if you think it's working. And I think for a lot of you, it's not. And really, the simple thing is to make it right is to just take a moment and step back, get the hell out the kitchen, out the heat, and look at your relationship for what it really is. And if it means that much to you, either one, then you should be able to take that risk and hang in there. I'm just saying. What do the Oracle cards have to say? Let's see. Time for crayons. Woo-woo is wonderful. You're the boss. Accept the gifts of the universe. Come on, y'all. And laugh. I know y'all like, what the hell? But just right here. Y'all done argued so much, y'all done forgot to play. Relationships don't exist without play. So my suggestion is both of you need to get some crayons and a coloring book and do your thing. It ain't got to be crayons. Hell, go outside and throw some snowballs. Do something that makes you feel good, that's going to make you laugh. It might be something as simple as sitting down and getting a Netflix and just watching a comedy show. But make some time to play. Woo-woo is wonderful. All of y'all old stodgy bulls, it's wonderful to be in love. Everything ain't about the grind all the time. And for some of you this year, it has been. And at some point, you need to just stop. Taurus, you especially, you need to just stop and look at what you have that's good in your life. Come on, and accept the gifts the universe is giving you. Sometimes you have to just be thankful for what you have. Your situation can be worse. Obviously, it can be better. But are you being grateful for what you have? And sometimes it's just as simple as accepting what you have and being grateful for the universe for having it. You're the boss. And all I'm going to say about this is you need to figure out which one of you is the boss. I know everybody's, it's equal. We should just be, yeah. Okay, that sounds good. But at the end of the day, somebody's got to be steering the ship. We can't have everybody up at the front of the boat and nobody at the back of the boat. Because nothing in the back of the boat get done. I'm just saying. So, who's the boss? That's what I'm going to ask. You're the boss. Everybody feels like they're the boss. But who's the boss? And how are you defining your roles in your relationship? At the end of it, just what I started out with. Get some crayons. It's also time to laugh. Everything is not so serious. Not the end of the world. It isn't. This is life. Period. Some shit's good, some shit's bad. But make the time for each other to see the funny shit. I think if you do that, y'all will be good. Taurus and Cancer, I love you. I hope y'all have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and I will talk to y'all soon. Bye, y'all.